My name is Taji Joseph. I'm an application engineer for Leap Australia. Okay. So what we are going to do is probably next 20 minutes or so we are going to cover what is new in Windchill. Alright. I know some of you actually don't really use Windchill here. Okay, and some of you, how many people here actually uses Windchill? Okay. Okay. All right. Or you're using 11.1?
No.
11. You guys are using 11.1. And you? 11? 11. Okay. All right. So I actually included some slides here explaining what is a PLM system. For those who are not really familiar with Windchill, I thought it's actually a good idea. Yesterday we skipped these slides because all of our audience was Windchill customers. So let me start explaining with what is Windchill and what it can be done. Okay. Or before we start, what is a PLM system? Okay. So you can see this is a typical problem we actually always see in any companies we visit initially for a Windchill sales meeting. Okay. So they got a completely disconnected information scattered all over the places in companies which not talk each other. Okay. And when they really need information on the right time, it is so hard to get that information on the right time. Okay. For example, engineering companies, they have a K drive or a D drive or a Z drive. Okay. Somewhere it's on the cloud. You know, and you can see Shailendra is smiling. He's very familiar. Okay. And then there'll be some ERP system floating around. There'll be some databases floating around, and they don't talk each other. Okay. And if you are really looking for some information on the perfect time, no, there's no way you can get the right information on the right time. Okay. So what is a PLM system is actually a system which actually solves all these problems. Okay, a solution which can be connected together to get the information on right time to right people on right time. Okay, so that is actually one single source of truth. That is what a PLM system will do. Okay, again, if you look into other side of that, impact of a change in that company where there is no connected system. Okay, there's no change request. There can be they're looking for attributes, some information, some metadata information. Where that model is being used, there's no idea. Okay, what is the impact on the cost side? Okay, there'll be documents and data that is being affected. Okay, there are what are the parts? What are the CAD data? There can be ECAD data, there can be MCAD data. What are the parts need to be changed? Okay, there can be software affected. Okay, there will be other changes may be taking place. There can be manufacturing changes, so how to communicate with the manufacturing people. Okay, bill of material change, MHOM is being changed. The ERP system needs to be affected. We need to actually let the ERP system know. So this is Windchill is actually one single source of truth which actually solves all these problems. That is what a Windchill or a PLM system is doing. Okay. So I know most of you are here for Windchill customers are here. Where we are up to with Windchill. So right now we are here. Okay, Windchill 11.2. We are expecting in a week's time. Okay, in the beginning of this year, actually just before Christmas. We had the Windchill 11.1 M20 came up. Okay, we are expecting Windchill 12 in 2021. It's going to be a big release. Okay, so from 10.2 onwards, PTC actually changed the release process with Windchill. Okay, they actually introduced a consistency in release process because it's become easy for customers to roll out those changes now. Okay, so what happened is like every 18 months there is going to be a major release cycle. Okay, that is actually something like 10, 10.2, 11, 11.1, 11.2, and so on. Okay, and that is going to be a big. It is actually there will be so many new features will be there. There will be bug fixes will be there. Then every 6 months there will be a service pack or a build code that coming for each version. That actually called build code like M10, M20, M30. Okay, but every 30 days for every releases there will be a service patch, critical service patch set that is actually will only the bug fixes. Okay, and also it will support any MCAT management like workgroup management. So there will be some support for workgroup manager will be there, but like supporting a new version of the CAD system. But there won't be any new features that is coming up with a critical path set CPS. Okay, but yeah, the minor version there will be new features coming all the time. M10 to M20 there will be new features coming up. So let us have a quick look some of the new major enhancements in Windchill in the last 1 or 2 years. Okay, the first thing is cascading attributes. Okay, this is one of the first in the list of PTC's product ideas page. You know, PTC got a product ideas page, and cascading attributes was the #1 request from the Windchill customers. We used to do a lot of customization on this. A lot of our customers have this customization done by Pooja. Right? Okay. So that is actually now become out of box. Okay. So what is meant by cascading attributes? I can give you a simple example here. For example, if somebody in the attributes page, okay, if you are setting an attributes page, if somebody is setting a continent like Asia, okay, and that actually determine what need to be shown by a country, okay, Japan or India or Malaysia, and then based on the country I have selected, it actually shows me state, and based on that it actually show me the city. Okay, that's what we call as cascading attributes, and used to be a customization need to be done. But now in the attributes page, it is just out of box, and the administrator can be easily create that and actually add the relation between the 1 and 2 between the parameters. Okay. I know we are talking to a customer in New Zealand right now, and they used to have that customization, and now they're actually going to get rid of the customization now and going to the out-of-box options. The next thing, this is one of the things I always use, even now with our old Windchill customers. This is something we always, the administrator call us for a support question. Maybe some of the employee left the company, somebody is in holidays, and they say more item need to be checked in. They forgot to check in before they leave, going for the vacation. Okay, what we need to do? How can I actually get that being checked in back to the system? Okay, so now in Windchill, the administrator can actually got access to other users' workspace very easily. Okay, they can do a search here. Okay, and they can actually search based on the users, and that will actually shows that workspace. We can activate the workspace. We can go into the workspace. It can be a new part or a checked out part. They can check in. You can delete that workspace. Kashyap, you got a question?
Can the upload be done, or it can only be checking?
The upload can be done. He got all options of the workspace option.
So you can upload even if their computer is.
Yeah, because what we actually looking here is the server-side workspace.
Yeah, okay. So it's only
server-side workspace only gets it.
That is correct.
The user uploads. Right?
That is correct, of course. Yeah. So even if, for example, checkout, you already check out, and somebody need to actually check in that. There is no option to check it in. Okay, and think about a disconnected user. You know, as soon as somebody actually left the company, the IT people will delete them from the database. Okay, so in that particular case, we can't even search for that user because he's a disconnected user. Okay, but now we can actually go and search for a disconnected user. It will show you their workspaces.
Okay, I mean, this is a very common situation.
Exactly.
We have.
Yeah.
But there's always a way.
There was a way before this. It's not like straightforward. We can actually search for that model. It will actually be used to show that object in the workspace. There was a workaround, but it actually now become obvious. Okay. But again, there was a problem was the disconnected users. For the disconnected users, there was an issue, but that's been all sorted now. Okay. Another nice enhancement here is, you know, a lot of customers uses Windchill to get that understanding of the related object. Related object is a very powerful feature in Windchill. I got a CAD model where it's being used. Okay, so traditionally, if you look at the way used list here, for example, if I actually look into a where used report here, it actually shows me all those objects connected or related in different versions of that object. Okay. For example, here they got an assembly here. They got another assembly which shows here as A.1 or A.2. That is the latest of that object here. But latest of the assembly, that sub-assembly is not included in that particular scenario. If you look at the related object list, it still shows that assembly. In the latest of that assembly, this engine_1 is not a member. But it shows in the report because logically, if you look into that inside Windchill, there is a connection of engine_1 ASM version A.1 is actually connected to that assembly. But if you actually open that in Creo and have a look, that sub-assembly is not there in the assembly because that assembly is being checked out to remove that object. But in 11M30 onwards, you're actually going to see a new icon here. What that means is, in the latest of that object, that part is not included in that assembly. Okay. So, and also there's a nice thing here. It's been where used or the latest. Okay. So you can actually filter, change to latest, and then latest of that assembly actually will shows the correct information of the related object. Does that make sense? Okay. Gotcha. It's a really nice thing. People always used to ask this question. A.2 is not supposed to be a member of the latest of the assembly. Why it is shown? Okay, but now it's we can actually show that from 11.0 from M30, it actually out of box. All right. The next thing is a big thing happened here is changes to the change management process overview. Okay. So out of box, Windchill have a completely closed loop of change management process. Okay. So what that means is there is a predefined change object that actually drive the change management process. For example, it's a problem report. You know, somebody actually will notice there's a problem for the part. Something is cracking. Something is not working properly. And or something is actually failing or it's too expensive maybe. They actually report that one and that actually become a problem report. Okay. Or another thing is like deviation. Okay. So what that means is a process deviation because of some special conditions. Okay. And both that problem report and the deviation actually will lead to a change request to the management. To the business, they say, here we go, there's a problem happening, so what we need to do with that problem. Okay, then the business can decide what needs to be done, whether we need to accept that change or we no need to do anything. Okay, that is actually a change request. So in the change request, these are the things which we need to consider. Okay, then the management can take the decision like it need to be a fast track or a full track. In that full track, they can say it need to be can go to a review board. Or if it's like a fast track, maybe a minor change that need to be done by a single person. Okay, and that will actually lead to a change notice. In the change notice, they will see how many parts need to be changed, how many drawings, how many assembly, how many parts need to be changed. Okay, and then that will lead to a change task. Okay, this drawing need to be done by this user. This model need to be modified by this particular user. Okay, and so then what we will do is somebody will close that task. That will go back to the change notice. That will get closed. That will go back to the change request. That will be closed. So that is a completely closed loop of the change management process in Windchill. Now, what was problem with that is a great system, but if somebody need to actually change it, it was not possible. That's what Puja need to come into effect. And Puja will customize it for the customers. Okay? For example, somebody need to link a problem report to a change notice. That's a small company. You find a problem, let us directly link that into a change notice. It was not possible, and that was a customization. We got few customers actually done that way. Okay? But now it's more of a linear workflow we used to have. But now it's been changed. Okay? Customers can actually, the administrator can actually link some of those objects differently in the background. Another really nice option here is to edit the promotion request. We always get that in the support, at least one or two in a support call. So the question will be like, I by mistakenly did a promotion request. Most of our customers start from the promotion request. They don't straight go to the change management. They actually start the change process from the promotion request. And most of our customers use promotion request to change the lifecycle state. Okay, and what they will do is actually they will select the parts of the drawing. Okay, and they actually send a promotion request. All of a sudden they recognize there's something need to be added. Maybe a note need to be added. Maybe another drawing need to be added to that promotion request. Maybe I need to remove a part which doesn't need a change. But they won't be able to do a change like that. So only the workaround was to delete that promotion request, will go back to the previous status, and then we need to re-promote it with the correct object inside. But now with the permissions, so you admins should have that preference set, or they should have the permission to do it. They will be now able to do add or remove object. They can go and add a note here. They are now able to remove or add any object from the promotion request. Okay. Other bits and pieces.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Is it just adding or removing the promotion objects, or can you also add an additional reviewer and those sort of things?
Yes, I'm pretty sure we can. Is that right, Pooja? We can also add a reviewer to that edit. I think so, because we are going back with the same page. I'm pretty sure that's the way. Is that right, Brian? Yeah, we'll be able to.
The old process was, if there was a problem with the promotion request, you have to reject and start a new one.
Yeah.
This one, you open it and you get the same sort of functionality as you would as if you cancel.
That is correct. Exactly, that's right. I
Yeah.
saw that. Visualization. We got some customers who have massive big assemblies. Okay, and the problem was when they actually go to that product structure page, it takes a lot of time to load up the custom. You're probably familiar. Okay, and now what PDC introduced now here is similar to clear view. There's a preference which we can set in Windchill, so that that product structure page will actually start with an empty page. In clear view, if you go, there's nothing is been loaded by default. You need to click one by one or all to load up that visualization. Exactly the similar way, now we can go and start picking up the object to be shown in the screen here. Also, if you look at an attributes page of a part, it actually will come up with a thumbnail. It's a really nice thing, nice little things, but for some customers it's a big thing, because every time you look at a part or what it looks like, they need to go back and have a look at the thumbnail, but that thumbnail is now inside the attributes page. Another big change is the license management. Okay, we should always have that license. When the people the administrator install the licenses using FlexLM, there is always that entries. The problem was there was no system to actually manage that license in Windchill. Okay, at least up to 10.2, there was no mechanism. So there's so many companies even in Australia and New Zealand where always admins were used to complain to say that we could not really make sure Windchill licenses are in compliance. For example, a customer have 100 licenses here. There's nothing stopping them from adding a new user. There can be n number of users. No one is going to be. There was no system to check it. Okay, and in some companies they don't know whether they are in compliance or not. Okay, So what PTC introduced from 11, but 11.1 is in full effect. The 11 they started that, 11.1 onwards. There is a new group called license group out of box in Windchill. Okay, so if you want to become a member of, if you like to access Windchill, you must be a member of this particular group. Okay, and it always check with the licenses, and system know how many licenses there's, how many users can be in the group. And the next page, if administrator is trying to add a new user, and if they don't have enough licenses, you will get this error saying that you can add one more member here because you need to actually add one more license user. Okay, so it's become very easy for the administrator to make sure it's been compliance. Most of the license these days are subscription for Windchill, and it also will give you a warning here saying that the number of, within the last 30 days of the license expiration, they will get this banner here saying that this need to be renewed. Okay, always make sure you look at the emails from our salespeople. Okay, if it's going to expire, you want to make sure you can't. If there is no license, you won't be able to access your data. Okay. Java, okay, it's a big thing in Windchill. Okay, you always get complaints from our existing customers. Maybe a particular user, they can't really access some of the Java APPLETS pages. Okay, PTC is in a big mission to change that, and they're almost there. Okay, so all those Java APPLETS will be replaced by HTML5. And you probably noticed an email that came to all the Windchill customers, especially early from last year. Oracle actually changed the license agreement for Java. Okay, from Java 9 onwards, they should have a license. If you want to use Java 9 SDK, you should have a license. Okay. Anyway, PTC actually even before that, there were so many projects happening at PTC to completely change Java APPLETS. Okay. I think from 11.1 M30, that will be completely gone. But even now, 11.1 M20, for a common normal user, they won't see any Java APPLETS. I think administrator can still see in some places, but the mission is by next M code is going to be completely replaced. Okay. ThingWorks Navigate View. Anyone using? Ketchup you are using? Okay. All right, so it is an role-based app which is connected to Windchill based on ThingWorks. Okay, it is basically a role-based app product from PTC. Why we need it? Windchill is a great system. A lot of information can be included in Windchill. Okay, for a day-to-day users for Windchill, it is easy to navigate. Because it's so busy, for a very casual users, Windchill is the interface is not that easy. Sometimes for some people. So what actually PTC come up with this idea, like an app based on the role of the person. For example, somebody in the procurement, all he needs is a bill of material, and he would like to see a view of the model. He would like to know the part number. He would like to maybe get the drawing out of it. That's all he wants to do. Okay, for a casual user, that Windchill interface is bit busy for them. So this app, role-based app, I will show you a video. I got a video here. Okay, so what we can do here is a casual user come here and just log in, and he would like to actually look at the product structure. Okay, you just search for the part number. Okay, it actually will show all the parts in your Windchill system. Okay, and all they need to do is basically click on that object, and while clicking that object, it will again go to the detailed page of that information, that page. We can actually search based on a part number or a file name. Okay, yeah, let me see if I can. It's a little bit slow. This video, when I put together, was not really a good impression about this video, but it actually explains what is ThingWorks Navigate View is. Okay. For example, I can go to that subassembly there. It shows me all the parts. If you want to export that list from here, we can actually directly export all the list directly from here. or you want to actually go to a particular object of that from here, it will also give me the thumbnail view. You can also directly click on that thumbnail, it will show you the information about that part here. If I click on that from thumbnail, that is from 3D view, I can actually click on an object, it will show the information about that. Okay. Again, if you like to open that in Creo view, okay, do some markup, so make some measurement, it will take you to the Creo view. So it's like a very custom app for a group of people who is not everyday Windchill users. Okay, that is what thing was navigate view. Okay. All right, the last slides which I want to show you here is there is few new things that are actually coming from Creo 6. Okay, one really nice thing personally I like in Creo 6 is when you create a new drawing. Okay, if I actually that part name, the name of the part will automatically carry over. Okay, you like it, Peter? It's a really nice feature. Otherwise, we need to sit together. Maybe it's like 30-digit character there. I need to sit there, copy, paste, and type the name in Creo. It's always an annoying thing, to be honest, for me. Okay, but now if you actually check that option, which actually Alan showed you in the morning, it automatically carried over to the drawing, and that is also kept checking when you actually create when you actually save that into your workspace, that name will come over. Okay, really nice improvement. Okay, so you don't need to rename or type it in a new name there. Okay, this thing actually came from we actually had a support call just last week from a New Zealand customer. Okay, traditionally when we do a save as from Creo, okay, we got in Windchill, we got the common name or the description. Okay, for every part we got file name and the number, but we also have a description like bold. That bold is actually going to be common, can be common, that is a common name or a descriptive name for different parts. Okay, we don't need to change it. Bold is always a bold, but part number need to be changed, the number need to be changed. Okay, but if you're doing a save as of a big assembly, then automatically that common name will be changed as well in Creo. It is not a Creo issue, it was Windchill issue, it was a Creo issue. So if I actually do a save as of the assembly, all the common name which previously created in the assembly, it will get renamed automatically with a file name. Okay, so that is being fixed in Creo 6, so a lot of Windchill customers will be happy. If you are using WT parts, okay, our end item, for WT parts you got a attributes which is WM name, WM part number, and in some customers we always used to ask, how can I actually show you the WT part number or the part name in a drawing? Because a Creo model will be associated with the WT part, Windchill technology part, okay, and I would like to show the information or the properties about that attribute, the PDCWM name inside a Creo drawing, and it was not possible. So there is a consistency in that now, so that we can actually show these parameters in the inside your Creo drawing or the EPM documents, if you like. Okay. Also, there are quite nice improvement inside the model tree. When you actually look at the information of a part, it actually will show you is it outdated. You need to be, you can see if it's not checked out by you. It actually will show you a real clear indication in your model tree as well.